I'm John Halstead, and I'm attempting to make £100,000 starting from zero savings and no job. My plan was to earn enough to live while reinvesting anything left over in starting a business. I began delivering food and flipping clothes, then progressed to pressure washing driveways. But I didn't earn enough in the early days and we went into debt.
I'm feeling kind of stressed.
And I realized I'd need to risk even more to make the business work. So we moved in with the in-laws, maxed out interest-free credit cards, and worked 100-hour weeks on the business.
I feel quite exposed.
Leading to us now running paid advertising, doing our first pressure washing job in a while, and investing in a new pressure washer machine. This has been the most physically, financially, and emotionally draining endeavor of my life. This series will show you what it takes to get £100,000 in the bank. So we're here on a family holiday in Bali. The current plan is still to spend 50% of our time on the pressure washing business and the other 50% of our time growing the gaming channel. We bought a van before we came on holiday so that we had it ready for when we got back. As soon as we bought the van, engine warning light came on, we took it into a garage. But when we do get back, if we manage to get that new pressure washing equipment more powerful, more reliable, on a trailer and start doing jobs, we can get as many as we want from the paid Instagram ads. That means we can potentially, depending on how good the equipment is, do 2 jobs in a day, an average amount of money of £350 before costs, so 700 in a day. The economy in Bali is very different from the UK. Like, we asked people and apparently the amount of money that they make is about 1/10 of what you earn in the UK. Most of the economy is based off of tourists coming in. Like, apparently 80% of people work in tourism in Bali, so that's crazy. Just to be clear, we're not paying for this, we cannot afford this, and if we were paying for it, we wouldn't be here. This is a family trip that's been planned for like over a year. So we got like, you know, the sunbathing spot and like this thing, and then the pool, and then like this indoor outdoor living area. And then up the stairs we have our room, which is just like a room. You can't tell, but it is extremely humid. It's like between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius during the day outside, but in here, air conditioned 16 degrees. That's what we're used to. Got a balcony out here. You can see the views of Bali, tropical island. I'm much happier with the situation that we've got now and the plan that we've got. Like before, when it was just pressure washing, it was kind of like, it's just to make money. We didn't really enjoy it. So it's like, it turns out it's really difficult to sustain something for the long term if you're just doing it for the money and not because you actually like doing the thing. Ideally, it needs to be both. Otherwise, you're gonna quit eventually. At least that's my experience. And playing video games and coding, which is something that I've done for over 10 years, they're things that I know I'm going to be able to do for the long term because I love it. I'd do it with even if we weren't getting paid. And right now, we're not getting paid. So there you go. You like the trees?
I like how it's growing over there.
Yeah, it's very apocalypse. Oh, this is great for our video game that we're going to make.
That's all I've been thinking.
That is incredible.
Out here.
Yeah.
I'm like imagining how we're going to make it the game.
There are like stalls everywhere, so basically anything you want, from like a little can of petrol and often in an absolute vodka bottle, petrol for your moped, anything through to just a fresh coconut, crack it open, coconut water. Whatever you want, you got it. Petrol pumps. So it turns out you can't really go out between 10 AM and 3 PM in Bali, where it's like 11 or 12 UV index, which means like extreme, almost guaranteed sunburn.
And what are we doing right now?
Yeah, we're out in it. It's extremely humid, like the most humid I've ever experienced. And England is humid. It's the most sweat that there's ever been. Kendra was just saying she's never seen anyone who looks more like a tourist. I don't know what she means. Kendra, what do you think of the size of this beast?
It's many bens big.
Many bens, that is a ben. That is probably 500 bends, 500 units. So it turns out the statue's around 150 meters tall, so it's actually more like 100 bends, not 500 bends. That was a bit exaggeration, but just for factual correctness. Oh, hi, baby chickens. Yeah, okay, they're running away. I think they're like rudder chickens, some kind of long-legged chicken, model chickens.
Yeah.
Just listen to this noise. This is how you know you're in the jungle. Apparently, this is a coffee plant, and that's a coffee bean. It's twitching and dreaming.
Yeah, but when they live in the wild, not so big like this one.
That vanilla coffee is nice. That is so nice.
Oh, it doesn't taste how I thought it would taste.
That's very fragrant.
Do you not like that? It's intense. I would like some milk with it, I think. I haven't mentioned, but like I've got a terrible nipple chafe. I think just from the sweat, the humidity, it's just insane. British nips are not meant for this climate.
That's a big waterfall.
It looks tiny, it looks teeny tiny, but it's actually big. So that was Bali, and now we're heading off to 3 days in Singapore before we go back to the UK, back to the grind. But first off, here's your Singapore montage. So first impressions, Singapore is nice and clean. Everything looks new. The only downside we've found so far is the humidity. It's so fancy. Oh my lord! This is the fanciest hotel I've ever been to. Yeah. It doesn't look that fancy maybe in this, but just like the finishes and everything. Everything's new. The architecture here, it's like a futuristic space hub. That's all I can describe it as.
Are you happy?
Yeah, whoa. It's a kind of backpack. It's kind of backpack. The dream. We wanted to put Chili in a backpack, but he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't do it. Wow. A fresh orange juice vending machine for like £1. And apparently they've sold over 100 million cups worldwide. They've sold over 100 million cups. That's 100 million pounds in revenue from vending machine oranges. That fruit isn't allowed on the like underground subway thing. It was like, if you eat or drink, fine, $500. If you like step out of line, that's a paddling. If you eat that fruit, it didn't say what the consequence was, so I assume it's severe.
No fine, I just don't want it.
I think it's severe. Flower dome. This place, major game inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Up in the sky in the clouds there.
They're the flower domes where we were earlier, and then these are like the trees where we're gonna go later. They've got the F1 track. I swear almost every single tower out there is a bank. Singapore's just all about the money. Apparently it's the most expensive country in the world to live in. In the world. That must be why it's so nice. You get fined $10,000 if you feed the pigeons, or $2,000 if you physically assault someone.
5,000.
Oh, is it 5,000?
Yeah.
But it's double the fine if you feed the pigeons. They just really hate pigeons. So Singapore's a country, right? And it's also just like a giant city on an island. So it's kind of like a Monaco situation, but tropical island. So my understanding is that around 300 years ago, someone from China came across the island and was like, you know what? That's a good bit of land. We're gonna like put a bunch of money here, you know, fishing villages, all this stuff. Then 200 years ago, just 100 years-ish after that, a British person came along and was like, that's a good bit of land. Queen Victoria, queen at the time, becomes the Empress of Singapore. Classic England, classic Britain. Basically just were like, you know what, this is ours now. A bunch of Asian culture mixed in with some classic British, I'm taking that from you culture. This might be the best statue I've ever seen. It's a really jacked little bird. And then, wait for it. British guy, obviously. Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, the British have an past.
Just like that bird.
And that's the end of the Singapore trip. Looking forward to getting back. We're gonna buy the best pressure washing equipment money can buy from Rutland Pumps, most likely not sponsored, but I just hear a lot of good things about them. See you in the next video to buy some beastly pressure washing equipment.